Hello, welcome back to our masterclass on temperaments. Today we'll be discussing the choleric. I'm Roy Clark, and once again, we're here with my wife, Dr. Amy. Hi, honey.
Hey. So today we're going to talk about the choleric. The choleric might seem to come off like the sanguine in inclusion.
Okay.
So they both come off very personable, very charismatic, and high energy.
Yeah.
So they are definitely extroverted. There is a slight difference between the choleric and the sanguine. The sanguine has a genuine love for people. They have never met a stranger. They just talk to anybody and everybody, and they will find something positive about every person that they meet.
The cleric doesn't love everybody?
The choleric does not like everybody.
Okay.
So they will talk to a lot of people, but this is really kind of screening out who they need to accomplish their goals. So they are extremely driven, usually very successful people.
Okay.
And so in a social situation, let's say you're at a party.
Right.
The choleric is going to be on, like their personality is on, super charming. They're working the room and they're talking to everybody and they're saying, "Oh, and what do you do for a living? Oh, you drive a bus? Okay, I'm going," and then,
right.
Okay, oh, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're a business owner, and those are going to be the relationships that they gravitate towards.
Okay.
So they are doing it just to screen out, and they're very good at knowing what they want, and they're very good at surrounding themselves with people who can help them achieve their goals. So people they don't have this genuine love for people. They kind of look at them as tools.
They appreciate them, but they appreciate what they can do for them.
Yes, they appreciate what they can bring to the table, not the person themselves. So they... a lot of times there are speakers and motivators that can be choleric. They're not afraid to get out there and to be up on stage, and they can be extremely inspiring. So you could be at a conference listening to this incredible speaker that's so funny and telling all these stories and everything, and then you run into him in the hallway and just would rather step on you than have a conversation with you.
Okay, I've met a couple of those people.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's hard. You need to have these people that can handle the pressure and be outgoing enough and great on stage, but then it's very confusing to the people that are around them. There's the one side of your personality, you act like this, and then there's a second side to you.
Wow.
It's almost like the reverse of the supine.
That's got to be challenged. So if you are a choleric, be careful that you don't just use people. Right?
Yeah, and again, these are the weaknesses of the temperament, is that they can use people.
Okay.
They can, a lot of times, so I'm a faith-based counselor, and teaching people how to have a relationship with God and to see that intrinsic value in everybody, not just what they can do for you.
Right.
Then they can soften, and they can learn how to really appreciate people. There is always going to be that little bit of let me just kind of sort out my friends, or highly selective in who they socialize with. They don't need to socialize like the sanguine. Okay. But they will.
They must have an enormous capacity to get things done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Excellent managers.
Yes.
They see people and what they bring to the table, and they can get the job done.
Yep.
That's a huge gift.
It is. It really is. The world needs cholerics because they have the ability to very quickly and efficiently, all right, I'm going to scan the room. I'm going to do all these interviews. I know that this person is going to be really good at this. I know that this person's going to be here. And so it's like plug and place. And
it doesn't sound like they get bogged down with emotion.
No. Okay. No, there's very little emotion. And then if somebody else is upset around them, whatever,
go deal with it.
Yep.
I'm going to take care of my
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not working for me right now, and I'm just going to move on.
Okay. All right.
But it's so hurtful to the other people because everybody's in awe of the choleric. They're so charming. They know how to turn that charm on. And so when I was teaching this class in a church small group, and the question I got from a lot of people is, this sounds a little like a narcissist.
Okay.
And they have similar traits.
Okay. And so how do I approach this choleric when it comes to inclusion?
The inclusion, I think it's not taking it really personal. If they are super charming to you at 1 minute and then are just, they turn off another time, this is really about them and not about you.
Okay.
So you have to appreciate what they're good at. They're very good at inspiring people and, you know, getting people together, and you can accept them. You can really kind of relish in their affections when they're giving it.
All right.
And then train yourself not to be so hurt when they pull it away.
All right. So it's as if, you know, if I'm married to a choleric, right? There's just going to be times when they are on, and I've got to say they're working, right? They're getting a job done.
Yeah.
But they do have the ability to love me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So they can pay attention. They can share their affection and attention towards me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any of the temperaments don't have to be defined by their weakness. But if you're married to a cleric and you're saying, "Hey, let's get together with the neighbors, Bob and Judy," and then the cleric is going to be like, "Why are we doing that?"
Okay.
Like, there usually needs to be a purpose.
A reason. For fun.
Yeah.
Said the sanguine.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. All right. So the choleric in inclusion. Do they want to be invited? Do they invite themselves? How do they get the job done?
Oh, they will invite themselves if there's a big function and they want to be seen there. They're just going to work their way in. They will find the invite.
If there's a benefit, they're going to find it.
Yep. And if they don't want to go, they have no problem saying, "No, I'm busy." And they tend to be very perfectionistic. So they want everything done really well. They have this very high opinion of themselves. So in one of the earlier videos, I talked about how if there's a spectrum, and here's the phlegmatic right in the middle of just kind of normal esteem, and then the melancholy and the supine start down here, a little lower esteem. The sanguine and the cleric are up here.
All right.
Cleric is the highest. They are very confident in themselves.
Okay.
They see all of their strength. They don't need anybody else to tell. Well, actually, they do. I take that back. They do want constant recognition.
Oh, okay.
They just thrive on people saying, "Oh my gosh, you're so great. Oh, you're the best at this. You're the best at that." And if they don't get that recognition, then they get very angry, and they can have a very cruel form of anger.
That hurts.
Yes.
So they'll show up to the party and just assume that they were invited.
Yes.
Right.
That they're the guest of honor. So they will dominate conversations. They not in a rude way, but they will control the conversation.
They'll be good at it. They'll be dynamic and fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So if I'm married to a choleric and they're dominating with great charisma, what do I do? How do I approach them?
You have to tread kind of lightly with them.
Okay.
Because if you're not letting them have the spotlight and you're not in full support of them, then they are going to get angry.
Right. Now, if I'm the spouse of a cleric, right? They've chosen me, and they know that I'm fulfilling a need for them, right? So reminding them of the importance of our relationship.
Right.
Right. And being committed to verbal affirmation for them. Sounds like a key to this relationship.
Yes, absolutely. The clerics, I think, the clerics probably have the highest divorce rate out of any of the temperaments. They are so geared towards business and success, and they just, and if somebody is trying to slow them down or somebody's asking too much of them, then it's just let me move on. So you've heard of how many successful businessmen who are on their fourth wife, or doctors that are, third marriage. They just, if it's not working, then I'm going to.
Then they move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is challenging. Yeah. So if you are a choleric, one of the questions that you can be asking yourself is, are you leaving a legacy or are you leaving a wake? So a legacy empowers people, which you are naturally gifted at doing. But leaving a wake can sometimes leave waves that just hurt people's lives. And we know that that's not something that you want to do. If you have a child or a friend or somebody that you love who is a choleric, and they are making waves, leaving a wake, you can gently encourage them, have them think through what they're doing, and stay consistent with your child in particular or your loved one. This has been Choleric in Inclusion. We look forward to the next class, Choleric in Control. Dr. Amy, thanks again.
You're welcome.
And you guys have a great day.
Thanks, guys.